Erceg. Abby, obviously, kind of a weird situation here where you already knew you had qualified for the semifinals, so that's great news. Obviously frustrated with the result tonight. Just your thoughts on the emotions of both of those things together and the match tonight.
Yeah, obviously still processing it a little bit. I think losing 3-0 is pretty tough, especially when you're doing so well in the group. And then the last two games have just kind of capitulated a little bit. We've had a couple of injuries, and I think that's stopped our flow a little bit. But at the end of the day, I just think we're not playing good enough. It's slow. We lack creativity in the forwards, and I think defensively we just haven't been sharp enough. So really disappointing. I think we're better than that, but also playing with 10 men and 45 minutes is always going to be a tough ask. I think at that point it was game over, so it's tough.
Questions? Becky, go ahead.
You found the back of the net twice with 2 goals that were called offside, and then Grayson got so many yellows called on them. Was it bad luck? Were you just a step off today? Like, can you just talk a little bit about how the game felt as a whole?
Yeah, I don't think it's bad luck. I don't believe in bad luck. I think that would just literally, like you said, a step off. And these teams are desperate. I mean, Kansas was desperate for the win. We weren't. And you could see it in the energy. We didn't come out to play. We didn't come out to fight. We lost every 50-50. We're losing all the tackles. We're not going up for challenges. We're slow to the ball movement slow. We just weren't there. And you could tell that they were desperate for it and we weren't. And it's not good enough, I don't think.
And you had already touched on this a little bit, but I mean, there were a lot of personnel changes in this match with Lester out, Howell out, none of the starting midfielders. How much did that impact the game in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you're losing a starter, it impacts the team in some way. But at the same time, we're all training and doing the same thing every day. So the players that step in have to be able to fill those roles. And I think they do it to the best of their ability. But, I think it's a fast learning curve for them that the speed that we're training at probably isn't the speed that's required in the game at the moment. So, yeah, tough learnings for some of those players.
Great. Thanks, Abby.
Abby, just as a team leader, how do you get that level back to where it needs to be? What's that conversation like in the locker room?
Honestly, sometimes you just have to forget it. There are games where you dig into it and you say, what can we do and how can we do better? And this needs to be better. And there are definitely some moments in there, particularly, I'm so heavily involved in the back four, particularly in the back four. I think there are a lot of things that we could work on that usually that weren't there. Our marking in the box and our defensive shape was a little off today. So we can definitely pick up some things from that. But, when you go down to 10, sometimes you just have to leave it alone because the shape is so different to what you're doing. You're scrambling at that point. How often are you practicing playing with 10 and 45 minutes? It's a really, really big ask. You're now relying on some of your fitness, and then players are making mistakes and diving in, and it's hard. I think this is something that you just leave alone and move on and look to the next game.
We have a question from Chris about shifting back from the Challenge Cup now back into the regular season, and also expecting at least 2, if not a couple more players from the World Cup coming back sooner rather than later. How does that mentality shift and things change for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, obviously really sad for those players that are coming back. I've been one of them, so I understand the feeling of it. I understand how difficult it is to reestablish yourself, but I also know that they will want to be busy and they will want to get back into playing soccer and forget about their time as quickly as possible, because I know it's quite disappointing for those players. But for us, it's exciting. We need them. We need the quality that they bring, and the class that they've been showing in the World Cup. We need that in our team, and they do bring a lot of quality for us. So I'm excited to have them back, but sad at the same time. It's a mixed bag of emotions at the moment.
All right. Any other questions for Abby? Okay. Thank you, Abby. Appreciate it. Safe travels.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.